Welcome to Mental Health. We've got a fun interview for you today. A guy from BC. He's in Assimilation. And it's Jesse James Jardine or Jardine or something.
I'm named like a wrestler. What's up? Yeah. Some people call me Triple J. I don't. But I'm also in Witch's Hammer.
Yes.
I keep thinking the camera's over.
I know Assimilation has like 2 full-length albums and an EP. That's correct?
Yeah.
What does Witch's Hammer have?
Witch's Hammer is a lot older than Assimilation. If you know Blasphemy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much kind of influenced Blasphemy back in the day. So like that's how old they are, older than time itself. They kind of coined the term speed metal in Canada, as far as I know. And it was started by Marco, who was in Blasphemy. That's kind of one of the big things that he did back in the 90s. And then pretty much it was defunct for like 30 years, I think. And then he kind of got the old members back together. The original drummer sadly passed away, and they had revolving door bass players, and the guitar player couldn't do it. So my current drummer was already in Tyrant's Blood, so he ended up in Witch's Hammer. And then I got my buddy from Calgary, AJ, the spot in there, and they have the original vocalist. And then I joined last. And then, we put out that first album, and then working on pretty much like the next album's done already. So, and then Assimilation's my thing, where I kind of write everything and do all that shit. So.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot of days. There's usually like one main member doing all the work, and then they got all.
Yeah, it's usually the driving force for sure. But that's a cool thing, like, because in Assimilation, I've kind of, like, not to take anything away from my drummer, like we always workshop things, but I kind of bring in completed songs, and then we'll kind of go through and trim them down and kind of figure out drum parts and everything, and then kind of add everything. That's how we've always done everything. It's a lot better on this new album, because now we have an actual bass player who is like very, very good and can just kind of jam with us, which is pretty crazy considering how technical some of this stuff is, to be able to jam. Fuck, my cash is going crazy, man.
Yeah.
Whenever someone comes over, he's like, so I guess because we're talking, he considers someone to be in the room, so now he's just fucking zooming around.
It must be even worse now because they can't see me, right?
Because what?
Cena.
Yeah. He is John Cena, pretty much. Fucked. But and then so we've been collaborating a lot more, which is nice. Working through this, even though you shouldn't be in a room with other people. But fuck that shit. Like, if there's one thing I
people
need
who don't
during
think
this,
communism is bad are telling us what to do. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody needs a fucking history lesson.
Yeah.
But, and then Witch's Hammer has been really cool too, because we're it's really more of a collaborative effort. Like, Marco has all these old riffs that he wrote in the 80s that he has on like random fucking tapes from like 84.
Oh, that's cool.
4 and 5, and then he like listens to them back, but they're such low quality that he'll try to like remember the riffs, right? And then we'll kind of workshop it and mix stuff together. And I've been writing a lot, and AJ's been writing, and I've been writing vocals and lyrics and stuff. So it's a lot more of a kind of band effort than a lot of the other stuff I've done, which is nice. I've never wanted to be just the dude doing everything, but kind of my experience, if you don't do everything, nothing gets done a lot of the time. So what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Get tired of waiting.
It's like that a bit, like it's like pre-COVID, you're just going to shitty open mics every night. And since COVID started, it made me have to do other stuff to express myself. So I started with this mental health and everything. And because of that, I've picked up editing skills. And you go back and watch like the original, like the first couple months of interviews, they're so terrible. I'm saying a million times. I'm so nervous.
That's actually I've been a video editor for over 10 years too.
So, oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do. That was my first job out of film school. I don't know if you've ever watched it, if you're much of a video game fan, but it was called Electric Playground back in the 90s, and then there was Reviews on the Run. Not the dance.
I remember Electric Playground. Yeah.
Not the dance fucking show though.
The one with the video games. Yeah.
So that was my childhood, like one of my favorite shows. I would watch it every Saturday, and that was huge back then because the only way to find out about games was through magazines, and this was like a show that showed you gameplay, which was unheard of, right? There wasn't an internet when I was a kid, or at least I didn't fucking know how to use AOL disk or whatever the hell that was, right? But so that was, I went to film school out here, and then that was my first job out of film school, was working on Electric Playground, but more on reviews on the run, right? So that was one of my cutting my teeth, was cutting out those ums and ahs and fucking everything, right? And making people sound a lot smarter and more eloquent than they actually are, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Cleaning
I
up.
don't try to make myself sound eloquent, but yeah, I just try to. I'll cut out that part.
Oh, you said, you got to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but I'm having lots of fun though with it because I've started to do sketches and stuff too. So yeah, lots of fun. You're talking about speed metal. I've interviewed Lips from Anvil, so that was fun, and I interviewed well, man, Rob Clammy, who played bass in Exciter for a bit too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
Right on.
fun.
I love Exciter.
Yeah, right.
Not so much. I don't mind Anvil's first album, but the documentary is kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, it was cool.
Like, why aren't we famous? Like, you are kind of, but come on.
Yeah.
Make another good
I had
album.
the idea that they should double down on the dildos, like have the drummer put like a dildo vibrating on the snare drum, and you know, yeah, right.
They're that type of band, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Got a guy named Lips in the band and shit. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right. So I was telling you about my coat that I'm sewing, and then you said that you're sewing too, right? That's one thing that people might find weird, that like metalheads, they have to learn how to sew in order to patch their coats and everything, right?
Well, I don't wear patches or anything like that. I'm working on action figure customs. I want to make a cape. I'm making Darth Bane from Star Wars. A lot of people don't really know who that is, but if you like, are you a Star Wars fan? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm a fan, but like honestly, not in the last bit, because like, well, I took like a good 7 years, 10 years off to do meth and check out of society. And
it's probably better than what Star Wars is doing during that time.
Yeah, right. So I like, Star Wars was good.
I just more like the novels and the older stuff. I like the Mandalorian a lot too.
Yeah, that was great too.
And I liked like Rogue One and the Han Solo movie and stuff too. But so pretty much like a little bit of nerd lore. Darth Bane was pretty much the most fucking evil dude that ever existed in the galaxy. He invented the rule of two, where there can only be a master and apprentice, because before that they were all fucking infighting and killing each other pretty much. So pretty much in one fell swoop, he wiped out all the Sith and like half the Jedi, all on this one planet called Rusan. And he's just a fucking evil dude. And actually, he's the only Jedi, because I'm big into bodybuilding and stuff. He's the only Jedi that's like a monster too, because he was like a cortosis miner. So he's just like a big jacked fucking dude that doesn't take any shit. And they haven't really made
that they make the lightsabers out of, right?
No, this is like some type of metal or whatever.
All right. Well, I played Old Republic back in the day, and that was.
Oh yeah, I actually just during this whole COVID thing, I had just a binge game like marathon. I was actually having some pretty bad hand problems last year, or I guess last year, and so I was trying to find things I could play with just my right hand. No masturbation jokes, please. But so the first things I played through was Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which I never played, and those were fucking amazing. And then I played the Knights of the Old Republic, the 2 games. If you ever do play 2 again, there's a mod that like adds in all the stuff they took out, which is really good. So
I don't really play video games anymore. After I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, like it'll be 9 years in the fall. I basically I couldn't play video games because I just boil everything down to why am I pressing buttons on a controller.
Yeah, I guess it could come down to that.
Yeah, like my brain was just overthinking everything, and then it's like, yeah, you're doing that, but you're just pressing buttons on a controller, right? So
yeah,
weird. Because I used to love playing video games. I used to love watching movies, and then all that stuff was just gone. Like no attention span for it.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, right. So then I just moved to hard drugs for coping, and that didn't help.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I ended up the only game I'd play would be Black Ops 1, the Nazi zombies part, and it was the extended map Call the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what I'd do is I would do my meth, and then I would play that game for 12 hours on that map over and over again for 12 hours, and then I would masturbate for the next 12 hours, and then I'd do more meth and just keep the cycle going.
Wow.
and I'd be up for at least 4 days doing that, take a nap, and start it all over again.
That sounds like a marathon.
Oh yeah, but
If you would have live streamed
nothing.
that, you'd probably be famous.
Oh yeah, well yeah, especially because like that, yeah.
Subscribe to my
A few
OnlyFans.
years ago, it would have been intense, yeah.
Yeah, you would have been ahead of the curve.
Just like my dick. All right,
Yeah.
here goes. All right. Yeah, I see a cat walking around in the back there. You say you're more of a dog person, but like metalhead, you love cats. Like,
Yeah, cats are okay, I guess. I got them for my mouse problem because I had a huge mouse problem during this COVID thing. I killed 15 by myself before I got him. It was actually really hard to get a cat during this. What are you on? Jesus. Like
we're talking about.
But yeah, I don't know. I killed like 15. I actually punched one to death behind my bed. It was gross. I like pulled my bed out and this mouse like ran under it like hit under it was like have you ever made like those like it's like a beanbag thing, you can put like rice in it and then it's like a heat pack you can use.
Okay, yeah.
I had one of those on the ground behind my bed and the mouse ran under the beanbag and I just fucking punched the shit out of the beanbag and crushed its whole body. It was gross.
That is gross.
Yeah, but then eventually I just got so desensitized. Like I had buddies over and we were watching wrestling and I caught one on a glue trap and like without taking my eyes off the screen, I just kind of like folded the glue trap and then fucking like smushed it with my foot. One of my buddies is like, "Ew, gross." I'm like, "You ain't in my world, dude." Like first time you kill one, you're like,
after the wrestling, I have to stay, you know?
yeah. And then eventually, and then I got this guy and then they were gone in like 2 days. Hey, come here. Come here. This is my little baby boy, Caspian.
Caspian, all right. Awesome.
He thinks he's in trouble, but he's not.
Yeah.
Are you little poop?
He's looking down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
He's a big boy too. He's like bigger than some of my dogs. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. Aren't you?
My ex had a cat called Big Black. It was a big black cat. Yeah, it was really fat.
Yeah.
More fat than anything else, though.
Yeah, I won't let this guy get fat. He gets 3 meals a day that are spread out, and I play with him every morning and night so that he keeps lean. Because I got him, he was already pretty. I don't know, like relatively muscular, and I wanted to be just like his dad. He gets
right. Because like pets end up looking like you anyways, right? And then with you being all jacked and being a fitness trainer person, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I've been doing that for like 5 years, but that's like one of the things I do is like, I don't know, I have a bunch of jobs and a bunch of stuff I can do at any time. I just get tired of doing one and just stop doing it. Like, I don't know. I was a video editor for a long time. That was my last job. And I actually it's been a crazy year, man. Pretty much January, I got laid off from I was head of video production for Green Planet Nutrients, which was a marijuana nutrient manufacturer and distributor, and I was doing all their videos for social media. I was also
to make sure the weed gets the good weed food, right?
That's right. I was also working on a show called Growing Exposed, and I cut a lot of episodes of that. I was the only video editor for a long time, and I think that's at like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube now or something. So yeah, anyways, and then all of a sudden without warning, they just called me into the office on Friday. They're like, "Yeah, you're laid off." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "When's my last day?" They're like, "Right now." I'm like, "Okay, see ya." And it was weird too. It was like my family. I was like, "Okay, well, fuck you guys then." And then and they're like, "Oh, you got 2 weeks of severance pay." And then I got a year of EI ahead of me. I'm like, "Okay." And I was working part-time at Gold's Gym, training people, a couple people a week. And I was just tired of their fucking bullshit. I got yelled at for letting one of my clients deadlift. And then, so if you know anything about deadlifting,
it's really bad for the back if you don't do it right?
Yes. But the thing that makes it hard for your back is trying to lower it down very slowly, right? Because that's not the point of your spinal erectors, is to lower something slowly, right?
Yeah.
When you lift something, you lift it controlled, and then you pretty much drop it, right? You don't want to, try and resist like 500 pounds as it goes down. You're going to pull something, right?
Okay.
So, but people always whine, "Oh, my ears, oh my God." Like, fucking shut the fuck up. You're at a gym. It's going to be loud. Like, put your earbuds in, But anyways, one of my clients was doing that, and then he was like, it's really hurting my back trying to lower it. And I'm like, you know what? Just fucking drop it, man. You know, like don't just drop it, but like don't hurt yourself doing it. And then my fucking boss came over and fucking yelled at me, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, and they said we were gonna get mats, and then my client was actually like, you know what, Gene, this is fucking bullshit. You know, I pay a lot of money to train in this gym, and he's just trying to keep me safe. And then I got written up because he talked to her.
Oh,
so I got
wow.
my first write up, yeah. And they so I was just like, fuck this shit. So I handed my notice and quit. And then I was just about to fucking transition into my own training. I had another gym just down the fucking block lined up. I was taking all my clients with me. And then day after this COVID shit happened, the day after, I was like, okay. And then yeah. And then another weird thing was I was having hand problems. It was really fucked up. It was turned out to be a torn collateral ligament. So I actually learned pretty much all the musculature of the hand. I bought a bunch of books on that. It was just brutal. It started in about January, and we had our last fucking show about February 8th, and we did the double duty assimilation witch's hammer. My hand was just fucked, like just pain all through there. And then I was getting pain on the outside. And then I went to the hospital a couple times. I saw fucking 3 hand surgeons. I was getting ready to pretty much have surgery done, but no one could tell me what was going on. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I got
ready to cut you open before they even know what it is.
Yeah, I got x-rays, an MRI. My doctor, I haven't gone to him again, was giving me these injections all around that wasn't doing anything. I got a cortisol injection. I was just a fucking nightmare. I was icing my hand up. I had my I don't know, this thing braced. Like I did not do this, or no, I had both of these braced. I did not do this for a month. I had them braced because it was horrible. It was really bad pain, and it was just resonating. So literally for like a month, I didn't do anything, and then the gyms closed down. So that was probably the most depressed I've ever been for a while there. Talking about mental health, I guess that's like probably the only time I ever thought about suicide was during that, because one, I couldn't play music. There was no foreseeable future for bands, and I didn't know if I would ever play again, you know, and then there was just no outlet for my rage because I couldn't play guitar, right? And I couldn't lift weights, I couldn't go to the gym, and I couldn't play video games either. So all of my hobbies were taken away all at once. So it was just brutal. And I didn't have a cat either. He probably would have helped me a lot during that.
For sure. Animals definitely do.
But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of retreated into video games more or less, like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, those huge RPGs, and just kind of like put in perspective. I beat Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, it took me 220 hours to beat both of those, and I think I did that in a month or less. It was like 3 weeks. So it was my full-time job. I would wake up at 9 a.m. and I just kind of treat it as a job, right? So as long as I keep to a schedule, I'm pretty good. But I don't know. And then I went to hand surgeons, and then this fucking one guy was getting ready to cut me open, and then I went to another one, and these were like some of the best hand surgeons in Canada. And the guy kind of snapped me out of it. I'm just like, you know, like, what can I do? Like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't see anything wrong here. I'm like, well, I'm scared to do everything. He's like, why? Like, pretty much in lack of layman terms, he was like, pretty much, stop being a little bitch and just deal with the fucking pain. And if it doesn't get worse, then you're fine. And if it does get worse, then come back. And I was just so angry. I was like, fuck you, dude. And then I kind of thought about it in my car, and I was like, you know what? He is right. Like, fuck this shit. So I just kind of, maybe not the best thing to do, but I just kind of ignored the pain and kept doing what I was doing. And I don't know, it's there still, but it's not as bad. So
All right. Yeah.
just been kind of doing my thing. It does kind of pop up at the gym if I go too heavy, and keep in mind that it's been over a year too it took to heal. And I couldn't find anything on the internet, like poring over Reddit, poring over everything, old science journals, every hand problem in the fucking universe, just like, ugh. But so it was good to get through that. And yeah, and then once the gyms opened up, that really helped me. During COVID, I went for a walk every single day to just kind of get out, right? And that really kept me sane, and listened to a lot of music during that time. So,
Yeah.
actually, I've been on a huge.
Did you
I haven't
try
even
to
been.
put the leech on the hand? because
What, sorry?
you could try putting a leech on.
Oh, yes, yes. The old 1800s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Those guys knew what was up. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I thought I'd ask.
Or if you have any mental health problems, you just like drill into your
Yeah,
like frontal lobe. or
your own
pineal.
lobotomy kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, what I do for my frontal lobe is I've already I use corrosive chemicals to just corrode it away, and now I can hardly remember anything.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I keep my I have all my ticket stubs for the most part, and I went through them recently because I'm gonna do a video talking about concerts because we haven't been able to go to one in so long. And I looked up the concert and who opened for them, and I saw bands that I didn't even know I saw. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of that for me too, when it's just like you just go into stuff, especially when you go for one band and there's other bands that are on there that you don't really care about or know about. And then later on, you're like, oh yeah, I did see that band.
yeah, that happened a few times. Like,
I hope there's a new appreciation for live music after all this is done. I think there will be.
Either that or people just be like, no, we just want to be robots.
Well, people do like being robots.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially when they bring the camera.
Thank you, government.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, I'll do whatever you say.
They already bring their camera phone and everything, just like to the show and just record it all and look at it all through their phone rather than experiencing it.
It was kind of funny too, because both of my bands picked the worst time in probably the history of metal to release an album.
Yeah.
It can't tour, can't do anything. Like Assimilation, like this is like our second album, and like honestly, like I think it was like fucking 10 times better than our first album.
I really enjoyed it. I checked it out today for sure on your Bandcamp. I'll put your Bandcamp in the description and all that jazz too.
Right on. But yeah, it was just
matters. There's gonna be like 100 plus or maybe watch list, but I do this.
One person buys it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That $10.
No, you can just find it on YouTube for free, whatever.
Yeah, you could do that too.
But yeah, I don't know. I've just always with that tried to mix all my loves. You know, I never even wanted to make a death metal band. It was always just kind of, it was more thrash, and then it just kind of like developed. And then I added speed metal and black metal, and I'm a huge heavy metal fan. I actually grew up on classic rock and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it all kind of bleeds in, and that's why I like Witch's Hammer, right? Like we're in the fucking room jamming. Like Marco is about 52 or something, and Ray I think is 55, 56, right? So and me and AJ, like we grew up in Alberta together, and like we ended up more talking about Kiss and Rush and like April Wine and stuff like this than anything else, right?
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck about a lot of current metal, to be honest. I just kind of go back, just keep going back. I've been on a huge classic rock kick lately too. So my new I can't believe I never listened to him is fucking Rory Gallagher. If you know who that is, fucking just blowing my mind.
No.
Highly recommend him after this. You should check out some Rory Gallagher. It's kind of like apparently he like influenced the main guitar player of Queen too. So he was just like a big influence on a lot of people. He's almost like a Ray Vaughan kind of, but just like, yeah.
See, what I'm trying to do is like when I checked out of society with doing drugs, I'm trying to go back and find those bands that I didn't hear about then because I was too busy doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know, during like the 2000s up to, I don't know, there's just not a lot of stuff during that I actually like, apart from maybe some of the brutal death metal, because that's kind of when like brutal stuff kind of popped up the late 90s. But I don't know, I'm very I'm probably a metal elitist for the kind of stuff that I like. So I hate most things, but I do like all the stuff behind you there. Especially that Vic Rattlehead looks pretty.
Pardon me?
The Vic Rattlehead looks pretty cool. That's from NECA, right?
Well, it's the Pixels who's buying.
I'm pretty sure the company's NECA though. Right?
Let me see. Yeah. NECA.
Yeah. They make all the pretty much anything that's like old from the 80s and 90s that doesn't have a toy, that's probably made by NECA. They have huge quality control problems though. Apparently a lot of stuff just breaks right out of the package.
Well, good thing I'm not taking it out of the package.
Yeah, but that's the like when it comes to action figures, there's the split, there's mint in box, and then people that open. We're called openers. So I'm an opener. Mint in box people are just weird to me. I don't mind having like one or two mint in box, but like people that like 100 boxes of mint action figures, I'm like, that's weird. How do you even find that much room for shit?
Not that much room, but like, what about like if the action figures were real? Like, no one's playing with you. I'm stuck in my cell. They're never gonna open me.
That's horrible for them. It'd be like, I don't think they've done that in Toy Story, but yeah, it'd be something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool aspect to throw in there.
Yeah.
Like Andy buys another Woody, but like in the box, and like he's stuck in the box the whole time, and like that would be a cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Those movies are great too. They never stop.
Oh yeah. Even the fourth one, I watched that one a few months ago, actually, back when I had Disney before Mandalorian was.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm not scared to say this, but I'm pretty sure Toy Story 3 made me cry.
Yeah.
I remember that was the one
where they go and they're almost getting in the garbage.
Yeah, because the first one was like the first two, like there's no real tearjerker parts, and then in 3, I was just like, holy fuck. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember like maybe like one single tear.
Yeah.
When you're watching something, you're like you get that feeling. You're like, no, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Man. And then one.
We're allowed to cry. Like, we're allowed to cry, especially when
I give props to like a fucking if an entertainment property can actually do that to me, because I'm such an angry, bitter old curmudgeon at this point, even though I'm 30, that if something can make that happen, that's some fucking good fucking writing right there, and acting, and everything. But I guess you got to have a good musical score too, because ain't no one
that
crying.
definitely helps. Definitely helps.
Yeah, you got the wrong music. You're talking fucked up shit probably.
Because the whole time I'm in active addiction, doing drugs and everything, you don't feel anything but whatever you're high on, right? So like when you get it clean and then you start feeling emotions for the first time and everything, it's really weird and awesome all at the same time. Like the pettiest little thing can make you start crying.
Yeah. Emotions are dumb.
But actually, recently I had the most emotions are dumb. Well, no, you're supposed to feel those. I had the most intense tears of joy I've ever had recently. It was I'm friends with Esther Gold, David Gold's mom David Gold from Woods of Ypres.
Okay.
You know Woods of Ypres? David
I don't know
died
anything.
in 2011 in a car accident on the way back to Barrie. The album that they got signed, I'm not going to say who they were signed with because it's a terrible record label, but came out. The album came out. Pardon me?
Aren't they all?
Yeah, but like this one's extra bad. I've heard nothing but bad things about them out in Europe. But and they're really just a headache. You know what I'm saying there? Oh, yeah, geez, okay, cool. Right. Yeah, but so David Gould died, and I'm friends with his mom now because I got to interview his mom. I absolutely love Woods of Ypres, and I was in a band. I did some lyrics, and so long story short, I ended up sending lyrics to Esther because she asked, and then she told me it was really good, and I really look up to David for his lyrics, and then it made me cry like a babbling, like a shaky, sobby cry for like an hour, and that was really cool to hear that from one of your favorite musicians' moms, because he's gone now. So yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
It was intense.
Yeah,
but no one can take that away from me now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, all right, we've been talking for a while here. We should probably wrap it up. So if there's anything you'd like to say, anything you want to plug for my viewers.
Yeah, I don't know. Assimilation, Witch's Hammer. You can buy stuff off me on eBay. Muscle Dummy Loser Store if you want to pay over.
I heard your story with over Mark's podcast about making it an actual store.
Yeah, and I don't know, moving a lot of stuff lately. Sports cards, not sports cards, but Marvel cards are going nuts. So all nerd culture is going crazy right now because we're all trapped at home.
Yeah, so all we can do is reminisce of when we were younger.
Yeah, so buy me stuff and send me free shit that you don't want from your house. You got old crap, fucking send it for free. I'm not paying. And buy my band's albums, or don't if you have opinions.
I prefer that you buy the albums, because going off YouTube and Spotify, it's kind of disgusting. But thank you very much, Jesse, for being on Mental Health.
Thank you for having me.
This is the perfect analogy for mental health. All right? Boom, I fall. And then like the jogger comes up. Oh, that happened. That happened right in front of me. Do I have to care? Looks around. Do I have to care? Oh, there's no one around. Okay, I'll just keep going.